Hello, everybody. So, you may be wondering what I'm doing here. One of the things with this new game that I've got, Imperial Assault, apparently it's not uncommon, or it's not just specifically to this game. It's not uncommon with a lot of board games. There's once you get it opened up and everything and all that, then storage gets to be a huge challenge. So I've seen a lot of people do card stuff or foam core. So I bought some foam core pieces and I'm making my own. So I've already made one this size. And so I'm in the process of making the second one. And let me just kind of show you what I have here. So this is going to be broken into two parts. And so basically, let's do this. So we'll have a piece on this end, this piece in the middle, this piece on this end, and then what I have yet to do is this will go over the top there. I still need to cut a groove here for that to fit down, and that'll fit over the top. So let's go ahead and go through that process of getting the groove put in now. So what I'm going to do is I had to go out and get myself a silver gel pen so I could mark this. I was using a pencil, and let me tell you, a pencil just does not do the trick. Um, it is it like if you look at certain angles and all that kind of stuff, it works, but for the most part, it does not work. And it really sucked to try to draw your lines and hope that you got the right spots. So let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. So I know that this tab is like a half inch. Um, the walls, this is an inch tall, so I made the tabs a half inch tall, so I know that I can mark these all a half inch. So I can just line this up at the half inch mark and basically draw my line here. Now I want to make sure that these are fairly tight, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw it like this, like that. That's going to be where my spot is. And we'll do the same thing here. Do our half inch there, draw it there, and draw it down there. Now all we have to do is cut it out. You need a nice sharp little razor for that. So I've got basically a carpet knife, so to speak. And we're just going to score it. Now, for the most part, the foam itself doesn't cut too bad, but every so often it will kind of grab and tear. So you'll pull like pieces out like that, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't really affect the integrity of these things at all. So it's just a matter of cutting through that. Well, went a little bit far. That's okay. So we just cut through there. So there's one, and I numbered these so I knew which side it goes on. And here's two. And I'm staying on the inside of the lines because, again, I want this to be a tight fit. Um, because with the first one I made, I didn't ensure that the fit was going to be tight. And uh, then you're completely relying on the glue. And I'd rather not have to rely solely on the glue, particularly while I'm waiting for the glue to set up. The glue that I have, I'll show you that here in a minute. The glue that I have is some Gorilla Glue, It's this clear Gorilla Glue, uh, but it takes like 24 hours to set up, and it can be quite the mess and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of feel like um, on the first one I did, this middle piece here was pretty tight automatically because I had to cut a slot in here, and so it was already kind of tight on the first one I did. And after I got all done, I was like, that's kind of nice that that's tight like that. So I just decided that if I can, I'm going to try to make any of these slots and whatnot a bit tighter, so that way when they fit together, it's all pretty snug. So I'm just doing a dry fit. You guys have watched me do my Falcon videos. You know I like to dry fit a lot of this stuff just to make sure it's all gonna go together by design. There we go. All right, fits together pretty well. So now we can pull these off. We'll glue this one on first because it's going to be nice and simple to glue on. And we'll just kind of proceed from there. The hard part is after you get it all glued, making sure that you get it weighted down and everything so it all fits. Now, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure I checked, and this glue was supposed to be safe for foam, but it talks about wetting it first and that kind of stuff, and it just seems like on cardboard, wetting it. I mean, obviously, it's not going to hurt the foam to wet it, but I don't want to. The exterior parts of the foam core is cardboard, and I don't want cardboard to get wet. So, um, now here's the one problem I'm going to have because I want this to make sure it stays in the right position. Some of these pieces got a little bit warped um, sitting in my truck, not straight, and so putting them on here, they get a little bit out of position, um, which is unfortunate. So as we glue it up, one of the things we got to try to do is try to put some weight on it to get it to hold its position correctly. And some of the stuff is a matter of putting the weight on the outside part so it pushes it in. This one will be the same scenario. Now this one, I just glue it all along here and here. And then we'll get some glue in the slot. This one's number 1. So this one's going to go over here. All right. And apparently this glue stains clothes. So that's a thing. Oops. Probably be good to control the amount of glue that I'm putting on, but you know, Where's the fun in that? There we go. It's all the pieces. So what I did last time was we flip it over and then we weight the crap out of it. So we can even put the glue on here and these tape rolls, anything to weight these down. Bottle of alcohol, which I may use that to push down on there. Anything I have heavy sitting around that can add enough weight, I'm going to put it on here. So essentially I only need to put it on the outside. I don't have any reason to put anything on the inside. Use these jars. Jars got enough weight that that'll help hold stuff in. Put a couple jars so it can't push out. Yeah. So there you go. That is one of the trays that I made. If you guys like this, I'll probably show a couple more different trays that I make as I get different shapes and stuff that I need. I thought you might find that interesting. So I need more weight here. There we go. Put that over there. All right, so there you go. That is everything for that. What I'll do is after it's all dry, I'll show it off so you can see how it all uh, ended up. All right, see you guys after it's all dry. Welcome back, everybody. So I continued on building out the trays, and I wanted to show off what I had completed. So now there's a lot more efficient ways of doing this. I could have put all of these cards in kind of bundled together and whatnot, and made it so that I could fit more in. However, I like the idea of having this space here for all the heroes, and then at least in the core set, I've got all of the hero cards separated out that way. I might be able to get more space and use these other spaces over here for more hero cards, class cards. But because of the fact that currently I play the game via a computer app, I don't need some of these cards. So these are your mission cards. I don't need those. And well, these are over here. These are the mission cards. These are your side quest cards. So I don't currently need those. Also, I don't need all of these cards because these are the different kind of these are the different cards that the Empire uses. And since I'm controlling the Empire, well, I'm not controlling. The app is controlling the Empire. I don't really need them. And the different status cards. So we've got focused, stunned, and bleeding here. But I like the idea of just kind of having the cards here handy, ready to go. So I made that in that fashion. Let me just set these off to the side as I pull these out. And then I made this to separate out all of the pieces. So you can see I have one for all of the different heroes to include Chewbacca and Han over here. And those, um, but I got the 6 heroes that come with the core set here. And then I've got a spot for Luke and Vader. I've got this spot here for the 2 different sets of Imperial or Republic characters. So we have the Republic troopers, and then we have the Republic saboteurs. So we've got those there. We've got my cards, or my dice, as well as some of the class cards for some of the expansions are in here. We've got our markers, which I will probably be redoing with, instead of inch and a quarter, I can't find inch and an eighth, which is what I'd really like. But I'm going to try inch and see how inch goes, because all the bases, the normal bases, are an inch. So we just have like I'll have to make sure the outside color is colored correctly. But we've got all of our different pieces here. And so I tried to do my best to make sure that, particularly like these bigger ones, so the Nexu and the EWEP are not taking up too much space, but at the same time, they're not like really jammed together. So when I do finally paint them, they'll be fine. These other ones, I just tried to give them just enough space to fit everything in. Probably could have, shortened up the space a little bit for the Trandoshans, but I don't mind that. Everything else is fine. So that's that tray. So that's all of uh, the characters, and then we get into a tray for 2 trays for the terrain, and these are just the core pieces. So we have uh, those 2 trays there, and one of the things that I wanted to do with the terrain, it was make it so that we knew which one was which. So this is the ones. So basically 1 through 9 is for that. And so just because it makes it a lot easier as you're putting things together to know which train pieces you need. And so like these are the 30s. So, and then we have uh, this one here. And so these are the teens, and the ones in the teens are the bigger, and these are the 20s. So I could easily put the 20s over here with the other ones, but it doesn't really matter. I kind of matched them up by kind of the train type or whatever. So there's that. Then we have this, which has all of our, um, these are our tokens to use for mission tokens. So those get used quite a bit, as well as our reward cards and our that kind of stuff. So we have our different gear and whatnot, levels of gear. So we have that, and then here we have our other mission tokens. So we have our uh, computer terminals and our crates, and then our status chips, and of course, obviously the damage and our strain. Here are the actual reward cards that you get in missions and whatnot. And then these are all the crate cards. So when you open up a crate, these are the cards to figure out what they are. And then the other set of damage. So the only regret I have for this right now is the fact that I cannot fit the ATST in. Uh, it's not a huge loss, but it would be nice to be able to have been able to fit that in. Um, but uh, if I did, I would have to sacrifice something else, or come up with a better way to store some of these cards. I've seen some people that just basically made a slot and stacked them all together. But I kind of like the fact that they're separated out. Makes it a lot easier as you're going through stuff. Uh, and one of the things with this is that it's slightly um, more narrow than it is long by like a quarter, not even a quarter, like an eighth of an inch or something like that. So you have to be very kind of specific in how you put them in there. But everything fits in pretty well. It's just a tad bit tall, but that's fine because if you put the lid on, it'll, you'll still be able to carry it and all that kind of stuff. So for the most part, I'm pretty happy with that. But now that I have the expansions, I need to see if there's going to be a way that I'm going to change how I do things. Um, I might come up with another method of doing that. Another thing that I did was I made this dice rolling tray, and this is something that my daughter kind of liked. So basically, it allows you to roll the dice, and you don't have to worry about them rolling off of the area, and especially because of the table that we play on, it's pretty small, so we don't have a lot of space, and this helps keep the dice under control as you're rolling them. So that is everything, and as I go through, I'll be probably having to create more. I might end up just using, like, say, one of the expansion boxes just for character pieces, and so that'd be fine. I can put all the characters in one area, maybe do one box for all of the rebel characters and one box for all the enemies, something like that, and then that would give me maybe some space to use for the larger pieces in the um, core pack. I got a couple walkers and whatnot. I can put all the larger pieces in those. So that's everything for building your custom insert organizers for Imperial Assault. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I didn't show a lot on how I did it, but uh, yeah, it's just simple foam core that I bought at Walmart and just measure it out and cut it. So if you guys would like to see more specifics on how I do that, then just let me know, and maybe I'll do an actual how-to on when I do the next ones. So thanks very much, everybody, for watching, and may the force be with you always.
With each passing moment, you make yourself more my servant.